just like your statement, more and more spun lies.
Referring to the letter she just put on X.
Yeah.
Your statement is a lie.
Yep.
But there is one thing that you said in your statement.
I agree with her 100%.
No one should be running for president if they cannot honor military members, their families, as well as veterans. So I guess that means that you should step down, Kamala.
Boom.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fearless 33 AD. We are here with another great podcast for you. Just want to say thank you for supporting us and watching our videos. But anyways, could you please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification so you get notified for any more videos that come out on Fearless 33 AD. Please check out our merchandise and all our social media. But anyways, without further ado, I'm Pastor Kealoha, and I'm here with my father, Dad.
How's it going?
Hey. We're all doing good here. You guys all doing good?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Got Laura
Great.
here and Lily and the gang. They're doing our Kairos production. Thank you guys so much for doing that.
Yeah, a bunch of hard work.
And if you
guys.
want to chime
Thank
in
you.
on, make sure you are involved wherever you feel like you can add to the conversation. And that's what we want to do today. We want to talk about, hey, we're right on the heels of the anniversary, one of the tragic anniversaries of our nation, as we're looking forward to the threshold of another tragic anniversary, 9/11.
Yes.
But here we are just coming off of the anniversary, what happened at the Kabul airport in August of 2021, August 26th of 2021.
That's the day.
When we lost 13, many were injured, where we lost with a suicide bomber, went in and killed 13 service members. I believe 11 were Marines and then 2 Navy. But the fact of the matter is it was such a complete debacle and a complete mismanagement as we didn't just do a pull out of a country. We abandoned them, left everything there, billions of dollars worth of guns and Hummers and just every kind of military supply you could think of.
That's what happens when you don't re-elect Trump.
And 13 service members in response to that were killed. And so we want to respond to that and say, first of all, we want to give honor to those soldiers that passed during that period of time and and stuff. So in this country, it seems like more often we're having more memorials for things like this, fallen things, and 9/11. You know, it's not the fact we have 9/11 in New York with the trade, with our
trade centers,
but we also have it where in Benghazi, when one of our ambassadors was killed and 3 Navy, I think Navy SEALs or Rangers, but they were killed on 9/11. I believe it was 13. You have to correct me on that. It just came out right then.
Right.
So you can check me on that, Laura, and find out if that's the date. Somewhere around 2013 in that area, maybe later, earlier. But, and again, as we're coming up on that and our borders have been wide open for almost 4 years, we have no clue what's come across that border.
We don't.
And we have no clue what kind of 9/11. They could have actually shipped people here just for 9/11 anniversary. So we have to brace ourselves for the memorials and the losses that our country keeps facing due to, sometimes
pretty much don't ever forget what happened to us. At the same time, don't forget that on this day, there may be also something else happening.
Yeah, exactly. So here's what we want to talk about. On last week, former President Trump, decided he would go to Arlington and put a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier. And so he went to be there with families and to do that. And do you have that picture? If we can put that up. Whenever he went there to celebrate, these are pictures of President Trump. I think, is that video? Yeah. Go ahead and play that. And we can just kind of talk through that. Okay. And here he is, with families. They put different wreaths there. One had a young lady, I suspect was military, in a wheelchair. Another one stand behind him, had prosthetics on one arm and 2 legs. And so that's a great time. It's a great opportunity for our former president to do something like that. And so I did, when I was watching this, my first response was, well, where's Kamala and where's President Biden at? Where are this administration? And so it wasn't too much after that we realized what a political stunt this was. And so what's the next thing we have up there, Laura? Because I don't see the list when we go to our pictures.
Yeah, I think I've heard a lot about this all through social media.
There's another picture. Now, this is something that caused a rift in the world of politics. I mean, this is so damaging and terrible. These Goldstar families asked if President Trump would take a picture with him. What they didn't realize or wasn't thinking or didn't know, we don't know.
We don't know.
As far as we do know, the Goldstar families, and we'll show you this in a moment, we'll show you some of the information. But here they are in this wonderful picture. But according to Arlington Cemetery, you're not allowed to go out and take pictures individually out on the cemetery at tombs at the grave sites.
Okay.
You can do it at the Unknown Soldier and where they do the changing of the guard, which I've been to. It's amazing. It's
so like, say if I have a family member in somewhere in there and I go take a picture at the grave site,
I'm not sure
not
the rules
that?
on that for the individual family, but you can't use them for photo ops if I understand it right.
Okay.
And I heard Joey off of Outnumbered on Fox. He was explaining the law. He's forgetting Joey's last name, but he
explains how it works.
And he's an ex-veteran, you know. And he's got 2 prosthetic legs.
Okay.
As a Fox correspondent, but nevertheless, we looked at this and we see this happening on last week, and over the weekend, our vice president decided to come out and to attack the former president.
I heard a lot about that.
On his lack of sacredness,
yeah,
and what he will do to that. So let's put that letter up there and let's read what she came up with. Vice President of the United States, who's running to be president without one vote ever in history. So remember where we're at as a country. We have a candidate for the first time was never elected to that position.
Yeah, right.
What I mean by that, you have to run a primary.
Right.
RFK won his primary as an independent. Jill Stein won her primary, I think, as the Green Party. Trump won his primaries as the Republican. Joe Biden won his primary as the Democrat.
Right.
They just came and said, you're out. We're going to put a new person in. That is completely what you call destruction of democracy.
Yeah.
You know, this.
You're not allowing
party,
any of us to choose.
This party that keeps going, he's a destroying democracy. He's
right.
You know, against the Constitution. That is what we call Marxism, socialism, and communism wrapped into one, is what they just did. You can call it what you want to call it.
Well, if you see a lot of people,
we know. Well, you know it's wrong.
If you see a lot of people, they don't mind communism.
Let me talk to every person out there that thinks that's okay.
It's not okay.
We know you're lying to yourself because you know it's wrong. So anyways, with these Goldstar families, here's the letter that she put out. As vice president, I've had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. That's a lie. I would venture to say she's maybe looked at it. If she's been there, it's because she had to. But she makes it sound like she just. But let's give her the credibility. This is one of her tour destination spots. She's
wants
there
to go there
several times. It's a solemn place where you come together to honor Americans and heroes and the ultimate sacrifice and service of this nation. I know what she's talking about. I'll give her credit there. She's right because I've been there. It's an amazing, amazing thing to watch the changing of the guard.
Yeah,
it's an amazing thing to hear the solemnness across that whole sacredness of that silence. While you just hear nothing but the taps and the clicks of the guards that are walking and keeping in front, pacing their watch over the unknown soldier. It's not a place for politics, she says, and yet it was reported this week that Donald Trump's team chose to film a video resulting in an altercation with cemetery staff. That's a lie. That's an inventor of evil. Let me be clear. The former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of political stunt. So bad orange man, he's done it again. He's went out there and done something bad.
And someone out there will believe this.
There is nothing new from Donald. This is nothing new from Donald Trump. This man who has called our fallen service members suckers and losers and disparaged medal.
They're still running with that?
And it's a lie.
They're still running with that?
Let me explain this to you. We have younger people in the studio today. Let me explain to you guys. They know you won't do your own investigation. They know that. So all they got to do is keep lying, whether it's at the DNC.
Well, yeah, it goes back to the original.
Joe Biden himself got up there and said this racist that would go back with the good, when talk about Charlottesville with the torches and these guys and saying, that's been debunked and already been known that's not true.
It goes back to the original lie. Why would people believe this? I saw it on television.
And their thing, if you ask Nancy Pelosi, is and lie, deny, imply. And if it doesn't matter, they'll tell you, we know we're lying, but enough people will believe the lie. That's their whole thing. So go back to the letter Donald Trump will do, called fallen case, losers and suckers. A man who during his previous visit to the cemetery reportedly said, fallen service members, I don't get it. What was in it for them? Now, those are what you call sound bites. Donald Trump went to a service member and looks at think of this. What human being, a garbage human being, which you might think Donald Trump is, but you know he's not. All you got to do is look at his family, judge a man by his family. All you got to do is look at his kids, judge those. Then you look at Biden's kids and you can see the difference. Here's what I'm trying to say is I could go to a funeral, a veteran's funeral, and in my speech I could go, watch this. He paid the ultimate price. This young man laid his life down for his country. He went to war and sacrificed his own life. For what? What did he get out of it? The ultimate price he paid, because he wasn't looking to get anything out of it. He was looking to keep America free. Now, what do? You pull that soundbite out, and what did he get out of it? See what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's what they're doing in those things. So those are all lies. But I said this, like right now, I'm looking across there, and there's two young people I know aren't investigating politics and the thing like that. I know they're looking at whatever they want to look at. You do the same. Like we that's what's going on.
Yeah, all the time.
This party is depending on your ignorance. In other words, here's what they're doing. They're actually insulting you. They're saying this. We know you're so stupid, you'll never even check to find out if we're telling you the truth.
They're not wrong.
Back to the letter.
They're not wrong. There's plenty of kids out there right now. I go to a high school.
It's not kids, it's young people. It's your age.
They have no idea. No, high schoolers have no idea what this is. I have heard this information already.
But the issue is high schoolers aren't voting. They're going to be a voting bloc.
No, they're going to be a voting bloc, but they're the next generation.
The voting bloc right now is your 18, 20,
the
21,
problem
22.
is the 20-year-olds right now don't know, and the next generation is worse.
Yeah, they're never going to change.
They're never going to change. It's going to get worse. I've heard this information already before.
This man is unable to comprehend anything other than service to himself. Mm-hmm. If there is one thing which let me get this right. If there's one thing on which we as Americans can all agree, is that our veterans, military families, and service members should be honored, not disparaged, and treated with nothing less than the highest respect and gratitude. It is my belief that someone who cannot meet this simple, you need to remember, hold this. It's my belief, Kamala says, that anyone who can't hold this simple sacred duty should never stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. I agree with her on that. I will always honor the service and sacrifice of all America's fallen heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our beloved nation and our cherished freedoms. I mourn them and salute them, and I will never politicize them. Actually, that's exactly what you just did.
Isn't this exactly what you just did?
You just did. You just said that. Now,
because this politically helps you.
I want to do this. If you jump to the text, Romans 1:30, and it says, this is talking about the wrath of God being revealed on earth against all unrighteousness and people who subvert the truth in unrighteousness. Yeah. He gives you the list of sins. And here's what it says in verse 30. In this list of sins, backbiters, haters of God, violent, proud, boasters, and here's the one that's incredible, inventors of evil things. Inventors of evil things. To sit around and go, what kind of evil can we think of? Right. And the Bible tells us in these last days, inventor of evil things. So when we look at this, go back to what we're talking about Kamala's letter. Right. Shame on Donald Trump. Because I'm glad she did enough effort to go to the Goldstar families and check with them. Find out. I imagine when I heard the news break through all the legacy media and fake news, my first thing was, surely Donald Trump made a huge mistake. He decided to take his Donald Trump train, park in front of Arlington, and say, let's use this as a political stepping stone. That's what I thought, because that's what they said over the weekend. And then this hit. Put that up there of the video of your Goldstar families.
Spending time with what's left of my family to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris, trying to incite those that don't follow the truth, that President Trump was in Arlington as a political stunt. Shows you how much you know about the 13 families. We invited him to be there.
Listen to this.
Groundwork was put into place by Congressman Ice's office to make sure we followed protocol. Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call.
Dang.
Imagine for a second that your kid is killed, and there's a president of the United States willing to take you under his wing and listen to you. That's what we found in President Trump. Certainly not you, and certainly not Joe Biden.
Man.
You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud in the halls of Congress, at a State of the Union, hell, anything.
Man, poor guy.
The irony behind your post,
I can't imagine.
No, you can't.
You're sitting next
that
to
you
me.
give a rat's about our military or our veterans, Jared's brothers and sisters in arms, the rest of the 12, their brothers and sisters in arms, is an outright lie. We're living proof of that. You're despicable. You have zero business running this country. And I pray to God, Americans wake the hell up and get your ass out of office. You have spit in our face for the last time.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes.
By the way, folks, all the background noise
because
is
of your
them.
administration. And you are partly to blame for that as well.
Man.
What happened at Arlington was President Trump was invited by those families who have their soldiers buried at Arlington.
Amen.
They were invited there as a friend, as somebody who has taken the time numerous times on numerous occasions to hear our stories, to speak our kids' names, and
Pause.
to help us get some.
Pay attention to what she's saying. Just, we'll go right back.
Yeah.
Trump has been there numerous times for them. He spent time with these families. Biden and Harris haven't
Never
even made
a single phone
not
call.
even a single phone call.
Jeez, just to I like what the guy said, just to say my kid's name.
Not even a single phone call.
Some accountability from your administration, because in over 3 years, we have gotten nothing but more and more lies. Just like your statement, more and more spun lies.
Referring to the letter she just put on X.
Yeah.
Your statement is a lie.
Yep.
But there is one thing that you said in your statement.
I
that
agree
was
with
true.
her 100%.
No one should be running for president if they cannot honor military members, their families, as well as veterans. So I guess that means that you should step down, Kamala.
Boom.
Let's go, girl.
My name is Coral Dulero. I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother. This is my statement of what happened on August 26, 2024. My son is not buried in Arlington, but I really feel like when President Trump went and paid tribute and paid his respect in Arlington for our kids, it was not just the ones buried in there. It was for all of our kids, and it was an invitation that the families actually extend to him, and it's not the first time that he actually meet with us and share time and
it's not
with
the
our
first
families. After 3 years,
Inventor of evil
until
things.
now, Kamala Harris and
I
President
would have
Biden
thought
didn't
to
even
call
say
them.
the 13 names. They
at least
called
call
the
them.
withdrawal in Afghanistan a success.
They don't care
and
about us.
And for us, it was just sadness and a disgrace. They are the responsible persons
she says,
murdering our kids. And until this day, they did not give us a meeting. They did not accept to meet with us and give us an explanation of what happened. Being him the commander-in-chief, he definitely left our kids behind and just to fill the agenda of his prior commitments. I am by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden to accept the meeting with us and meet with us and explain us what was the whole deal behind.
You got to get that picture up. It just fits inside
in
this.
Afghanistan. I think that as a parents, we deserve a explanation.
Slide that if you find it.
The truth of what happened with our kids that day.
Yeah.
Let's find out what the president was doing that day.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui.
Okay, go ahead. Just.
Oh.
And your administration killed my son.
Oh,
jeez.
Deliberately in exchange for a political
killed my son.
So you could have a final day of the evacuation coincide with September 11th. Ignoring the advice of your generals, the Doha Agreement, and countless other veterans and members of Congress. Denying the safety of the Afghans and the servicemen and women. Your choice to play politics in 2021 killed 170 Afghans, 13 U.S. service members.
It's kind of refreshing because I didn't realize you haven't seen this
Afghans.
piece of footage yet.
I haven't seen the families.
You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. At no time have you reached out to me.
That's the dignified
to
transfer.
offer your condolences.
Thank you.
To offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service. Not once have you honored him by saying his name. So I said it for you. You have disparaged all 13 who have lost their lives as well as their families, exhibiting your lack of gratitude by your silence. I agree with you on one thing, that a person like you should never and will never stand behind the seal of presidency. You are a DEI vice president.
Oh, wow.
And contrary to our kids,
Wow.
the worst that America has to offer. I will pray for you.
Oh, man.
That God
That's
has
right.
mercy on your soul.
Yes.
Put that picture back up. It's a reminder.
I have a lot to say on this right now, but I mean,
Go ahead.
It's just like, I remember that. Okay, so I heard the information of Trump disrespects Arlington Cemetery, and I saw the news, and I was like, no. First thing I thought was, no, you're making it up, you're lying. But then I also thought to myself, hang on, don't be like the liberal side and just say, I know I'm right without doing any research. So I did a little research and thought, okay, the families invited him there. Okay, he was able to be there, but I don't see Trump disrespecting our troops or our soldiers. But seeing those videos for the first time makes me just feel in my heart inside, like saying this right now to all of you people out there. Look, we love you. God loves you. We all do. But if you vote for Harris in this next election, shame on you and your family and everyone out there.
Because her and Biden could care less about our military. They're trying to destroy it.
I get it that you got duped in 2020 and you voted for Biden, whatever. But this all happened right after he was elected. You cannot tell me this man has done a good job.
We were in no wars. We had a peace treaty with, and so, I mean, yeah, there's.
I like in the debate. What did Trump say? If I would have been president, this never would have happened.
It wouldn't happen. Laura, what do you think as you hear these mothers and stuff?
That's heavy.
No, I'm glad they spoke up.
Yeah.
You've got three. I mean, can you imagine what that would be like?
Yeah, I would. It would be so hard for me to be silent, and I'm so glad that these parents stood up and stood their ground and said what they needed to say, because we don't get to hear them, and
it's
we
amazing.
always hear the other side of a narrative, and then for them having their voice and they can say what they need to. I mean, that's huge.
But how would you feel if you were being disrespected like that, and it was one of these three that are,
I would feel
you're ignored for 3 years.
You've raised and trained them up. They make a decision to say, Mom, Dad, I know it's going to hurt, but I feel like I owe this to my country.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and I'm going to fight.
Yeah.
And for my country.
They get abandoned.
And knowing they're making a decision, not coming back with a financial, decision. They vary. We don't take care of our veterans.
They go serve their country.
Here in California right now, they're
country.
trying to pass a law right now in California to give $100,000. And the only way you can get the $100,000 is you got to be an illegal immigrant.
I have a teenager in my youth that just joined the Air Force. I mean, they want to serve their country. That's like, go ahead, please.
I mean, if there's anybody we need to make sure is taken care of is our veterans.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
If you go and put your life on the line, America should come back and say, we're willing to take care of you. I'm not saying make them millionaires, but just say we're going to subside, give you a subsidy. But nevertheless,
I definitely would feel like betrayed.
Yeah.
Just completely
ignored for 3 years if your children just
watch
died.
This next mother.
You see someone with the hat, you say thank you for your service, and it means a whole lot to them. It does.
And I'm going to give an opportunity for every one of these families to speak on our program. We're not editing this out.
I mean, I understand being angry.
In the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. This year, for the 3rd year anniversary of her murder, we welcome President Donald J. Trump to Arlington to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier with our family and to visit Nicole graveside. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself?
Wait a minute.
Why have we never heard
that
from you?
Has to be untrue. Because she said she honored him. Why would you
take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called. President Trump shows up.
Isn't that something?
President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
Vice President Harris, my name is Jim McCollum. I am the Goldstar father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, killed in Afghanistan, August 26, 2021. Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit.
There you go.
How do you sleep at night knowing it was you, this administration, you and Biden, you being the last one
November
in the room,
5th,
are responsible for the death of our 13 kids? You have failed for 3 years and 8 months.
That's right.
To acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me. You have failed in your duties as vice president. You have been nothing but disrespectful to me and the families of the 13.
Pause.
Yet you're claiming that you will always be respectful and show respect for our fallen. You've been...
Remember in her letter, she is always going to honor and pay respect. Here are the families, people, telling you she's lying to you. And come November 5th, you can move them right out of there and we'll get our country back online. I'm telling you, I promise you this, we'll get back online. There's going to be some hard times to face because that side of that world is going to constantly try to destroy as they did last time through impeachments, through fake collusion and all that. But I promise you, if she will write a letter without making a simple phone call to say, I just want to know, did he show up to that or was he invited? No, he was invited. But she didn't. She wrote a letter doing exactly what that group of people do all the time. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Gosh.
It's hard to believe, those are your kids. And somebody treated like that. My kid was murdered. Can you imagine a parent going like this? What happened to your son? Lost my son in active duty. I lost my daughter in active duty. Paying her a debt, to the freedoms of this country so people could burn flags, so people could disparage the United States of America. They fought a war for that, and they lost their lives for that. These parents are not saying that. They're going, I am the father or the mother of of that person, and saying who was murdered. That's a mess, man.
It was like my heart feels like when I first watched that scene of Private Ryan when they stormed the beaches. And just my heart instantly broke. And I thought they wanted to go serve their country. Now these 13 kids just wanted to go serve. And they know they get nothing out of it. They know they're protecting us. They know that they're protecting freedoms that...
See, that was a soundbite, what I was saying. You just said they get nothing out of it. Somebody takes that piece out of that.
Right, they take that piece and they
make
it bad.
Look at Fearless 33 AD. They'll even tell you their disrespect for soldiers. Listen to what the associate pastor said, and they'll show you going, they don't get nothing out of it.
They're fighting for freedoms that Harris is trying to destroy. And they're fighting for the freedoms for people to burn flags, like you said. And they're fighting for that.
They didn't do it.
They
didn't do it at the RNC. They did it at the DNC. They fought, protested, and burnt flags in front of it. Let's finish these families. I promised I would let all of them play.
Yeah.
Absent for 3 years and 8 months. You've proven that you're not capable to do the job that you have, let alone the job that you seek. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect.
Jeez.
But President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is.
That's
you
right.
have the day you deserve.
Oh, my goodness.
Good afternoon. My name's Herman Lopez. I'm a Goldstar father. My son, Corporal Hunter Lopez, was a U.S. Marine killed in action on August 26, 2021. This message is intended for Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm not a person who usually takes to social media, but earlier today, your post regarding the incident at Arlington National Cemetery was brought to my attention. After reading it, it caused a reaction with me. You indicated in your post that you support the military and military families. I, for one, have not seen that support. It's been 3 years since my son was killed in action, and myself, my family, and other Goldstar families have not seen any support from you or your administration.
Jeez.
You may make hollow promises about the economy or anything else you'd like to make promises about. But one thing that I ask of you, and the reason I'm making this message, is for you to stop making comments about your support for the military. As a Goldstar father, I know that you have not supported us. I know that you have not supported other Goldstar families.
There you go.
Please stop making these types of comments, because that support has not been demonstrated.
Share this. Put it out there.
Please, share this. I'm going to share it right now.
The American public to know that these messages, these promises from Kamala Harris, especially in regard to supporting the military and our military families, are false and baseless. They have not been proven, and she has not earned our respect. Thank you very much.
My name is Darren Hoover.
I believe he's our last.
I'm the Goldstar father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover. Kamala, I want you to understand, and I know it will be difficult for you because you lack empathy and basic understanding. The events that happened on August 26, 2024, with President Trump at Arlington National Cemetery were solemn and in keeping with the reverence and respect that is given to all members of our military that are buried there. We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video and the pictures to be taken at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. This was a very solemn wreath laying in our son's name, along with the Sergeant Nicole G family, as well as two of our catastrophically injured military members that were there on that horrific day in the honor of our Abbey Gate 13. We then moved to the gravesite where our children are buried. Again, we asked the Trump team to take the videos, take the pictures of our time there. President Trump then laid a wreath at the graveside of Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Christian Canals. There he talked to both his mother and father. President Trump then moved to our son's grave, where we were surrounded by our family and friends, where we talked about Taylor and his sacrifice to this country. Let me be clear. There was no politics discussed, none whatsoever. There was also not an assault that we observed take place, or did we hear it? I don't know where this is coming from, but it's disgusting and gross. President Trump has been there for us from the very beginning, when our son and the other 12 of his brothers and sisters in arms were murdered due to your negligence and uncaring attitude towards our military. Don't forget, Kamala, you were the last one in the room.
That's what she brags about.
You and Joe Biden made the final decision on how to pull out of Afghanistan. You created the chaos and mayhem for the military to accomplish their goals. Our sons and daughters made the best of a difficult situation, as they had been trained to do. They adapted and overcame all of that and came out as heroes, something that you will never know or understand. Oh, Kamala, we have been treated with the utmost respect, compassion, and understanding by President Trump, something you and Joe Biden have refused to do since August 26, 2021. No, where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names, just as you had done for the last 3 years. Neither one of you have called to speak with us or share in our grief. I wonder, Kamala, do you sleep at night securely in your bed? Or do you have nightmares of our kids because it was your incompetence and negligence that got our kids murdered?
She could care less.
I could not live with that.
It is you who sends out messages on social media that are outright lies. It is you that has disrespected our families. It is you who knows nothing about service and sacrifice. It is you that has divided this country, and it is you who is unfit to be the commander-in-chief. These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day. You should be ashamed and embarrassed at your lack of empathy and decency as a human being. You are only in this for the power and prestige. You don't care for our military or the citizens of this country. You should hang your head in shame at your actions or lack thereof. You need to move aside, get out of the way, and stop hindering the progress, growth, and independence of this great nation.
Yeah,
that's
good
it.
Stuff. Now, who put that video up?
These Goldstar families, as soon as that happened, they all just somehow corresponded. I'm not sure the way it came together, but as you can hear, all of them, like over the weekend, you came out on X. By the way, Elon Musk, I think you should take down Kamala Harris and censor her. She's lying and giving you lying information.
Good one. It's the whole point. She's able to say
that's the whole point.
She's able to say exactly
whole
what
point.
she wants.
She can put a whole lie. That right there. Goldstar family said she's lying.
She's
lying her butt off, basically. And you know what? I'm going to go to those polls and I'm going to vote that you get a right to do that. It's called free speech.
That's right. You can say what you want, Kamala, even though we think you're a liar.
Thank you, Elon, for being a soldier for free speech.
That's right.
We don't care what Brazil does.
Yeah.
Brazil can do what they want to do. No one cares about Brazil. You know, I feel sorry for you people out there in Brazil who depend on X, but that's who you voted for.
Yeah.
It's a good example. America, listen to me. Brazil right now has banned X because they don't like it. They don't like them talking about the people talking about their leaders. That's what's coming when you vote for Harris, Walz, or any of these. That's what's coming. And they're going to say, oh, no, it's going to be Biden's going to destroy the Constitution. That's what they're doing now. They're destroying the Constitution.
It's already,
they're just
trying to destroy
they're
it.
destroying it and going and going, he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're destroying and going, he's doing it.
Yeah. They're lighting the fire and going, it's not me.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
if you fool me once, well, fine. But what is it?
I'm afraid it's going to be fool me once, fool me twice, three times, four times,
10 times,
6
20
times. Doesn't matter. If you don't believe that, come into the state of California where we're at and go down our coastline and ask them how they're going to be voting.
Yeah.
Go into San Francisco and look at it. It's the number one, just completely destroyed now.
So,
Los Angeles destroyed. Sacramento destroyed. All these major Democratic cities in our state. By the way, if you can't make California, everything is in California.
Right.
That's why they call it the Golden State. Did everything is in this state. We have the most beautiful state there is, and it literally takes some type of brilliance to destroy it.
So for all you voters out there that called us crazy when we were going against Biden back when 2020, when Trump and Biden were going at it and we were all voting for Trump, my friends from high school called me crazy saying, there's obviously Biden's the right choice.
Like me
and I'm
now.
like, look, fool me once, well, that shame on you. But fool me twice, that's shame on me. I'm the one that allowed this. And we're telling you, we're not fooled. Here at Fearless 33 AD, we are not fooled. We're going to tell you the truth. And this is exactly what's happening to our country. And you need to support these families. You need to go against the devil.
Talking about support.
And vote for Donald J. Trump.
We want to end our program with these wonderful people because you heard these parents. I suspect they'll never, ever see this podcast.
Yeah.
But if there was just a way that God wants them to see it, we want them to know here at Fearless 33, we're going to do that. We're going to say their names. We're going to show them one at a time. So if you could put that up there.
Please.
This is Marine Corps Lance Corporal David L. Espinoza. You saw his mother, 20 years of age, of Rio Bravo, Texas.
20 years old.
Marine Corps Sergeant Nicole L. Gee. She was only 23, of Sacramento, California, right here in our Golden State. We have also Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Darren T. Hoover, 31, of Salt Lake City. Army Staff Sergeant Ryan C. Knaus, 23, of Corrington, Tennessee. Marine Corps Corporal Hunter Lopez, 22, of Indio, California.
We have a lot of Marines.
I think 11 or more. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley J. McCollum. You saw his dad speak.
Yeah.
He was only 20, of Jackson, Wyoming.
Oh, gosh, so young.
Wish we had time, we'd read the whole things. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Dylan R. Marola, 20. That just blows me away. It's hard for me because you to me seem like, and you're 20, you're 27 this month?
I'm going to be 27 this month. And to think that
crazy.
I'm 6 years right now older than that young man.
These are
and he sacrificed his life for this country. That's
Dylan
crazy.
R. Marola, 20, of Rancho Cucamonga, right here in California. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakawi, I hope I'm saying that right, of Norco, California. These wonderful young people. Marine Corps Sergeant Johanny, hope I'm saying that right. The way I see it is Johanny Rosario Picardo, 25, of Lawrence, Massachusetts. Marine Corps Corporal Humberto A. Sanchez, 22, Logansport, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Marine Corps Lance Corporal Jared M. Smits, 20 years old, St. Charles, Montana. MO is Montana.
Yeah, MO is Montana.
Navy Hospital Corpsman Maxton W. I'm going to say it twice. Soviak or Sovac. To me, it's going to be Soviak. 22, of Berlin Heights, Ohio. God bless you. Marine Corps Corporal Deegan W. Page, 23, of Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Let's read that. What's that? Oh, that's Corporal Deegan, doing something.
Our fellow brothers.
I don't
and
know if we got them
sisters
all covered. If we did,
in arms.
we want to say thank you so much for your service to those parents. It breaks my heart that the comments are that our kids were murdered. I can't imagine my son sitting next to me going off to the military and not being able to say he died serving his country, but that he was murdered by the incompetence of his country. And so it breaks my heart for that.
Yeah.
And so we just want to end our program. Do you have a picture of all 13 of them, Laura, if you can, and we'll pray for these families and these Goldstar families that, again, when the Biden-Harris administration watched them come off the transport, they just sit there and check their watches, and just like it was like an intrusion. One of the parents says, we don't know where you are this weekend. Well, we do know. Joe Biden was still on vacation between California and the East Coast. And Kamala Harris was raising money with all of her cohorts, Obama and Clinton's. So that's where they were. They celebrated that. Your former president took time off of his campaign trail, his trials, all of those bogus charges, everybody trying to destroy his life, people trying to shoot him. He took time off to go be with these families. And not because he did it once as a political stunt.
It's not a
but they said
stunt.
all of them said, he's done this over and over. So I want you to remember that. Do you have that picture? Let's go ahead and just put that on the full screen if you can. And I want to say thank you for being with us. Don't forget to like our page. If you can, share this one.
Yeah, please share this one.
Share this one out. We'd love for at least the families to know there are people in California that want to repeat and say their kids' names.
Yeah.
We want them to know that. So as I pray out, we want to show the picture of those that gave the ultimate sacrifice August the 26th of 2021. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we pray for these families. We ask, God, that you will touch these parents that are grieving and heartbroken. Lord, that it's been piled upon them because of the political nonsense that brought this to be. May you give them the courage to walk every day. May they be able to pick their head up and look and know that one day you're coming back and you're going to make amends and justify everything that's been wronged. We give you all the praise. We give you all the glory. We thank you for these people, these young people that serve this country and give, especially when they pay the ultimate price. And we give you all the praise for that. Be with those families. In Jesus' name, amen.